came out, Sega was trying to compete with, Nintendo 64 and the first PlayStation. They were trying to compete, didn't work, they failed, they lost. It is what it is. And it's crazy because after Sony failed of having, the team up with Nintendo with the N64, N64 turning that down with the whole disc thing, Sony did try to come to Sega also with the same offer, and Sega turned them down. So then that's when, Sony PlayStation went and made their own console. So once again, Nintendo, they created their own worst enemy, and Sega created their killer. It is what it is. You created a system that took your place. You should have took the deal with Sony. I'm sorry, Sega. It is what it is. But yeah, so that's what happened. But anyways, it doesn't matter. We're here now, and it's not too late for Sega Saturn. It never will be. There's a bunch of things that Sega can still do with the Saturn. Like put it on the Nintendo Switch Online service. With a bunch of the games that they do have. Alright, like Sonic R. Okay, they did have the Resident Evil. Mind you, too, that the Resident Evil on the Sega Saturn was actually better than the one on PlayStation, but since nobody gave the Sega Saturn a chance, nobody will ever find that out. So, there you go. The Resident Evil on Sega Saturn. They also had Mega Man 8. Alright, Mega Man 8, it looked actually really, really good on the Sega Saturn, and I want to play that game. Like, I never got a chance to play it on the Saturn, but I've seen the gameplay, the footage, everything about it, and the game looked really, really good. Okay, so Mega Man 8. I ain't even mad at it. They had Saturn Bomberman. Never got to play that either, but I would like to. So, bring the Bomberman to the Saturn on the Switch Online. That'd be cool. They had Street Fighter Alpha 2. What I've heard is also one of the greatest Street Fighter games ever. So, why not? Let's play it on the Saturn on the Switch and see how that plays and see how that feels. Virtual Fighter 2, alright? That is a actual Sega property that they just happen to forget about. Sadly, they should bring Virtual Fighter back, but if they don't, they could bring it back on the Sega Saturn on the Nintendo Switch in Virtual Fighter 2. I ain't mad at you. Bring it over. What's another John too? Like a big game on the Saturn was what is it? Panzer Dragoon the Saga. That game looks actually really cool. I wouldn't mind trying that out, getting to ride dragons and, do the fighting thing and fly around. And I want to do that. I never got to play it, but I heard it was a really good game on the Saturn. Once again, did not get the time of day. So hopefully it does. But yeah, that and there's a whole bunch of other games also, man. There's like Shining Force 3, Dragon Force. There's a lot. Okay, there's a lot to pack up here, and they could just throw on the Switch. Like, they could have a whole